In the world of women's basketball, two names have been on everyone's lips: Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers. Their rivalry has been simmering for years, but what happened this week has fans and analysts alike wondering if we're witnessing the birth of the WNBA's most explosive rivalry. When Paige Bueckers heard her name called as the #1 pick in the 2025 WNBA Draft, the basketball world didn't just notice, it erupted. The Dallas Wings' selection of the UConn phenom came almost exactly 1 year after Caitlin Clark made history as the Indiana Fever's top pick in 2024. For years, these two have orbited each other, from their high school days as top 5 recruits in the 2020 class to their monumental college showdowns. Their paths have been eerily parallel, yet distinctly different. Clark, the scoring sensation who transformed Iowa; Bueckers, the UConn champion who captured what Clark never could, a national title. But make no mistake, this isn't just about basketball. This is about two icons whose mere presence is reshaping the economics and visibility of women's sports before our very eyes. The Dallas Wings didn't waste a single moment. Within hours of drafting Bueckers, they released what can only be described as a declaration of war, an announcement for a night in Dallas on June 27th, featuring both stars prominently when the Fever come to town. The message was crystal clear. The Clark-Bueckers rivalry wasn't just acknowledged, it was being weaponized, monetized, and elevated to main event status. Tickets immediately skyrocketed to unprecedented levels. We're talking $255 for general admission, with some resale tickets reaching a staggering $4,128, potentially costing fans over $5,200 after fees. These aren't just basketball prices. These are Beyoncé prices, as one fan noted. This isn't merely a game announcement, it's the WNBA's Super Bowl, and it's scheduled for June. Let's talk cold, hard facts. When Clark entered the league in 2024, the draft viewership exploded to 2.45 million, a 307% increase from the previous year. It was the first time the WNBA Draft had ever cracked 1 million viewers. Bueckers' draft? 1.25 million viewers. Impressive by any standard, 119% higher than 2023, but still 49% lower than Clark's historic entry. This disparity has reignited debates about star power and the elusive it factor that separates good from great and great from legendary. As former ESPN analyst Skip Bayless controversially put it just before the draft, Paige Bueckers is more athletic and a better mid-range jump shooter than Caitlin Clark, but she doesn't have Caitlin's it factor, basketball charisma, and aura. Nobody does. Caitlin is her. Those words drew fierce criticism at the time, but as the viewership numbers rolled in, they've taken on a prophetic quality that even Bueckers' most ardent supporters can't easily dismiss. Now, the basketball world holds its collective breath for 70 days, the countdown to June 27th, when these two generational talents will share a professional court for the first time. The American Airlines Center, home of the Dallas Mavericks, will host this seismic event, and make no mistake, this venue change is no coincidence. The Wings know exactly what they have in Bueckers, and they're making a calculated bet that her star power, combined with Clark's established drawing ability, will fill an NBA arena. Clark herself acknowledges Bueckers' commercial appeal. Honestly, they should move every game to American Airlines because I think Paige has that type of draw. She'll be able to bring those types of fans in. The respect appears mutual, but beneath the surface, competitive fires burn. For Clark, this is a chance to reassert her dominance as the WNBA's premier attraction. For Bueckers, it's an opportunity to prove she belongs in the same conversation, or perhaps to start a new one altogether. Their history adds layers of intrigue to this budding rivalry. In college, they split their NCAA tournament matchups. Bueckers and UConn triumphed in the 2021 Sweet 16, while Clark and Iowa exacted revenge in the 2024 Final Four. In high school, Bueckers edged Clark in the rankings, finishing as the #1 recruit while Clark settled for 4th. These small details matter in the psychology of elite competition, creating narrative threads that will be pulled tighter with each professional encounter, and there will be many encounters. After their June 27th meeting, the Wings and Fever face off 3 more times this season: July 13th, August 1st, and August 12th. 4 chances for rivalries to be cemented, legacies to be written, and the WNBA landscape to be forever altered. What we've seen so far is merely prologue. Here's why this rivalry is poised to explode in ways basketball has rarely witnessed. First, the commercial incentives are unprecedented. In a league that has long struggled for mainstream attention, Clark and Bueckers represent marketing gold. Every confrontation between them drives viewership, merchandise sales, and ticket prices to heights previously unimaginable in women's basketball. Second, their playing styles create perfect dramatic tension. Clark is the long-range assassin, the flashy passer, the scoring machine who plays with unabashed swagger. Bueckers is the more efficient all-around player, the mid-range maestro, the champion with the hardware Clark covets. Third, the personal stakes couldn't be higher. For Clark, maintaining her position as women's basketball's most marketable star is crucial for her brand and legacy. For Bueckers, emerging from Clark's shadow and proving she deserves equal billing or top billing drives every move. Fourth, in the social media age, every interaction, quote, or performance will be analyzed, amplified, and often distorted. The pressure cooker of modern sports media will ensure that any friction between these stars becomes front-page news. Finally, and perhaps most significantly, both players appear hungry for the challenge. Neither has shied away from the comparisons or the spotlight. Both seem to understand that their individual greatness can be elevated through competition with a worthy rival. As June approaches, anticipation builds to fever pitch. Endorsements multiply, media dissects every angle. Fan bases polarize, choosing sides in basketball's newest war. The American Airlines Center will pulsate with tension. Each play, analyzed, debated, immortalized, becomes another chapter in their shared legend. Whatever happens, reactions will be seismic, social media will explode, reputations will transform overnight. This is merely the prologue. Clark versus Bueckers has every element needed to transcend sport itself, a rivalry destined to reshape women's basketball like Magic and Bird once did for the men's game. This is only the beginning. A decade-defining rivalry ignites before our eyes. Things will get worse, or for the WNBA's fortunes, immeasurably better.
Gout Gout has dazzled in his first appearance in Perth, breaking the 10-second mark in a 100-metre heat.
Australian sprint sensation Gout Gout has sent shockwaves through the athletics world by accomplishing something that even the legendary Usain Bolt never managed, breaking the 10-second barrier in the 100 meters at just 17 years of age. In an astonishing display of raw speed at the Australian Athletics Championships in Perth, the teenage phenom clocked identical times of 9.99 seconds, not once but twice in a single day, first in his heat and then again in the final of the under-20 category. What makes this achievement truly remarkable is that Bolt, widely considered the greatest sprinter of all time and the current 100-meter world record holder at 9.58 seconds, didn't break the 10-second barrier until he was 21 years old. By achieving this milestone 4 years earlier than the Jamaican icon, Gout has once again demonstrated why many are touting him as athletics' next global superstar.
With the wind at his back, even easing up before crossing the finish line.
He's stretching away now. Isn't he beautiful to watch? He did switch off. Oh!
I mean, that's what I was hoping for, Gout said after his performance, displaying the confidence that has become his trademark. I didn't get the start I anticipated in the final, but I just focused on what I needed to focus on. Can't be happier than that. This casual response belies the historic nature of what he accomplished, further cementing his reputation as a generational talent. However, there is a significant asterisk attached to Gout's achievement. Both of his sub-10 performances came with illegal tailwinds, 3.5 meters per second in the heat and 2.6 meters per second in the final, exceeding the 2.0 meters per second limit for official recognition. This means that while Gout physically crossed the line in under 10 seconds twice, neither time will count in the official record books. The teenager himself expressed some disappointment about this technicality. "It doesn't feel very special," he admitted after the final. "I mean, this is the stuff you have to do to get to the next level. Sub 10 was inevitable. Sometimes it's frustrating, but you can't control what you can't control, and the wind is something you can't control. What's particularly astonishing about Gout's heat performance is that he wasn't even running at full throttle. Commentator Dave Colbert noted for Channel 7, "Very rare that I say I have no words. I have no words to describe what I've seen there." He shut it down with at least 20 to go, maybe 30. A 3.5 is a big tailwind, but if he goes flat out to the line, then he runs an 8 high. This suggests that Gout might have gone even faster had he pushed himself to the finish line rather than conserving energy for the final. Australian presenter and sports broadcaster Bruce McAvaney described the run as extraordinary on commentary, a sentiment echoed across the athletics community. While wind-assisted times are estimated to subtract at least 0.1 seconds from a runner's pace, the consensus among experts is that Gout's natural ability would have him breaking the 10-second barrier under legal conditions sooner rather than later.
Andrew Mayenda is going to be the challenger. So Mayenda, the South Australian, he's fast. He's putting the challenge down to Gout Gout. And Josiah John out wide from WA. Josiah John, Gout Gout though now shows his class. Gout Gout from Queensland.
But wait, there is more. This latest feat adds to an already impressive list of accomplishments for the 17-year-old. In December, he clocked 20.04 seconds in the 200 meters, making him the fastest Australian ever over the distance and breaking Usain Bolt's age group record in the process. Last month, he ran a wind-assisted 19.98 seconds in the 200 meters with a plus 3.6 tailwind, though like his 100-meter times, this didn't officially count due to the excessive wind assistance. His official personal best in the 100 meters remains 10.17 seconds, but based on what he's shown in Perth, that mark appears ready to fall. Should Gout officially break the 10-second barrier with a legal wind reading, he would become the youngest athlete in history to achieve the feat, taking that title from American sprinter Christian Miller. Gout's potential rivalry with fellow Australian Lachlan Kennedy is also heating up. Kennedy, 21, who edged out Gout in the 200 meters at the recent Maury Plant meet, has a personal best of 10.03 seconds in the 100 meters. He's competing in the open field at the championships and also aiming to crack the 10-second barrier. The two are set to face off in the 200 meters on Sunday, in what promises to be one of the most anticipated races of the meet.
They did great. My mom's just like any other mom. She loves us and she cares for us. She's like the house taker, so she takes care of us. Used to take me to training when I didn't have my license. And she's always there. My dad, he works a lot, so he's in and out, but he obviously supports where he can, and obviously came to watch me that day as well. So.
And you've got some brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have 6 siblings. My older brother, Moen, my older sister, Shell, my younger sister, Tong, my 2 twins.
The comparisons to Bolt are inevitable, but Gout is determined to forge his own path. Born in Australia to parents who migrated from South Sudan, his lanky frame and explosive acceleration do bear some resemblance to the Jamaican legend. However, World Athletics President Sebastian Coe has advocated caution, describing Gout as a rare talent who needs nurturing and protecting. For context on the significance of breaking the 10-second barrier, only one Australian, Patrick Johnson, who ran 9.93 in Japan in 2003, has officially done so under legal conditions. Other Australian stars like Rohan Browning, 10.01 at the Tokyo Olympics, and the aforementioned Kennedy, 10.03, have come close, but have yet to join this exclusive club. The sprinting world now waits with bated breath to see what Gout can accomplish in the remainder of the Australian Athletics Championships and beyond. With the World Championships in Japan later this year, the teenager could have the opportunity to announce himself on the global stage in spectacular fashion. Despite the wind assistance taking some of the official shine off his Perth performances, the athletics community recognizes that they witnessed something special. As Gout himself put it, sub 10 is what every sprinter hopes for, and to get this early in the season is definitely great. While the times may not count in the official record books, Gout's double sub 10 performance at just 17 years old has put the sprint world on notice. The question now isn't if he'll officially break the 10-second barrier, but when and just how much faster he can go in the years ahead. With the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics on the horizon and the 2032 Games set for Brisbane, Australia, Gout's trajectory suggests we may be witnessing the early stages of a career that could redefine what's possible in sprinting. What do you think about Gout Gout's incredible achievement of breaking the 10-second barrier twice in one day at just 17 years old? Can he officially break this mark with a legal wind reading before his 18th birthday? And how do you see his career developing compared to legends like Usain Bolt? The sprinting world has found its next sensation, and his name is Gout Gout. Share your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe to our channel for more updates.
Lee, Gout, Atkinson, Cully, Brady, Peacock, watch the clock, ladies and gentlemen. He's hit the front, he's hit the straight. There you go. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20.
Gout Gout just delivered the performance everyone has been waiting for, breaking the magical 20-second barrier in the 200 meters with a stunning 19.98 seconds at the Queensland State Championships on Sunday. The 17-year-old Australian sprint sensation has done what no other Australian in history has accomplished, becoming the first from his country to dip under the 20-second mark, though the wind-assisted run won't count as an official record. This breakthrough comes a day after his dominant U-2100-meter victory, solidifying Gout as Australia's top sprint talent and a rising global force in athletics. I felt literally free. I had 80 meters left to go, and I thought, let's send it, Gout said after his historic final. Only from then did I believe I had a chance of going sub-20. Seeing the clock, I was really happy and surprised in a way, but it just felt like a weight off my shoulders. Now that I've done it, I've just got to do that more consistently. Gout's path to Sunday's breakthrough began with an already remarkable heat performance earlier in the day, where he clocked 20.05. The fastest 200-meter time in the world this year. That alone was headline-worthy, but the teenage phenom was just getting started.
I didn't expect it to be that fast, but I guess her end showed the fastest ever time in the 200. I've been chasing that record, but I didn't think it would come this year. I thought it would come maybe next year or the year after that.
Though the 19.98 won't be an official record due to excessive wind, Gout has shattered the psychological barrier, proving he can run sub-20. This places him among elite junior sprinters and makes an official sub-20 feel inevitable. His achievement is historic. No Australian man has legally broken 20 seconds. Peter Norman's 20th of June, set in 1968, stood for 56 years until Gout's 20th of April in December 2024. Norman's time earned Olympic silver behind Tommy Smith, underscoring the world-class standard Gout now challenges. Gout's meteoric rise has stunned the sprinting world. Just 3 months ago, at 16, he ran 20.04 at the Australian All-Schools Championships, surpassing Norman's record and even Usain Bolt's time at the same age. Paired with his 10.17 in the 100 meters, he has emerged as a generational talent poised to rewrite history. But wait, there is more. This weekend's championships in Brisbane have only strengthened that reputation. On Saturday, Gout dominated the U-2100-meter final, running 10.38 seconds in rain-soaked conditions with a slight headwind. What made that victory impressive wasn't just the time, but the manner, finishing a staggering 0.43 seconds ahead of his nearest competitor, Michael Alafokai, a margin rarely seen at this level of competition. It's one of the top 10 times of my career, so I couldn't be happier, Gout said after Saturday's 100-meter victory, demonstrating both his high standards and remarkable maturity. The 10th 38 clocking ranked as the 5th fastest time of his young career, a mark most sprinters would consider exceptional in perfect conditions, let alone on a wet track. Gout's achievements are even more impressive given that his strength lies in finishing speed rather than starts, an area he's still refining. Analysis shows he covered the second 100 meters of a 200-meter race in 9.34 seconds, fastest closing speed ever by a junior and among the top 10 all-time at any level. Gout's extraordinary closing speed has drawn inevitable comparisons to Usain Bolt. Like the Jamaican legend, he often trails early before unleashing a blistering finish that leaves competitors behind. The comparisons are obvious, not just the times, but the technique and how he storms from the back like a hurricane, noted Australian media. I just learned to be myself and follow my processes, Gout explained, showing wisdom beyond his years. You can do all the work in the world, but if you're in good mental shape, you'll be right. This psychological maturity is particularly impressive given the extraordinary pressure and expectations he faces as a teenage prodigy.
Cody Jordan as his nearest challenger, starting to roll, just too late. It is the double for Biyanda Walaza.
Despite still being in high school, Gout has already signed a multi-million-dollar sponsorship deal with Adidas that runs through the 2032 Brisbane Olympics. The contract, reportedly worth over $6 million, represents a significant investment in his future, though many experts believe the value could prove to be a bargain given his trajectory. The timing of Gout's rise couldn't be better for Australian athletics. With the 2032 Olympics set to be held in Brisbane, Gout's home state, the teenager's development timeline aligns perfectly with what should be the peak of his career. By then, Gout will be 24 years old, typically considered the prime age for male sprinters. Australian Olympic legend Cathy Freeman has been watching Gout's development with interest and sees something special in the teenager. "He is just something else," Freeman told 7 News Spotlight. "Watching him race, it's like he's been shot out of a cannon or something. He's quite extraordinary. He's probably smarter than I was at that age. He's quicker, but he's certainly got the world at his feet." World Athletics president Sebastian Coe has also taken notice, recently describing Gout as a rare talent who needs nurturing and protecting. This recognition from the sport's global leadership highlights the potential impact Gout could have on track and field in the coming years. The next major test for Gout will come at the Maury Plant meet in Melbourne on March 29th, which will be broadcast live on Australian television. That competition will give Gout another opportunity to chase an official sub-20 time, this time with a larger audience watching. Gout has already surpassed the 20.16 qualifying mark for this year's World Championships in Tokyo,